Hey guys, on today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to update your iPhone, iPad or Touch to the latest iOS 11.0.1. Alright, so if you are in iOS 10, then make sure to make that backup on iCloud. If you guys are already in iOS 11 and you're just doing this quick update to 11.0.1, then don't worry about it. It's a small update, so there's nothing to it. So let's just go right into settings. Under settings, you guys can scroll down and you guys will see general. Under general, you see the second option where you see software update. So just tap on there. This should load up the latest iOS. Alright, so here it is, 11.0.1. So let's just tap on download and install. So first of all, it's gonna ask us for a passcode. If you guys don't have one, don't worry about it. Once you're done that, it's gonna download. So let's say something happens when you're downloading and your iPhone turns off. No problem, it can turn off. Nothing will happen really. However, if this does get stuck when you're installing, then that's another issue. All right, you might have to restore. So that's why I'm telling you guys to make that backup. So at this point, this shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, and that's if you got pretty slow internet. If you guys have extremely slow internet and let's say an iPhone 5S or something like that, then this will take approximately 30 minutes. That's stretching it. All right, it shouldn't take more than that, the downloading and installing process. It's a quick update, there's nothing huge to it. It will just fix some bugs. It doesn't fix all the bugs that are in iOS 11 unfortunately, but it fixes some. All right, so that's why they made this one pretty fast. Other than that, it's a quick update. Like I mentioned, this will not take that long to download. On average, let's say you guys have an iPhone 7, maybe a 6S, something like that, this would not take more than 5 minutes actually. It's, like I said, a small update. I always recommend making this backup, I always mention in the start, on iCloud. However, you don't have to. You can go into your computer, open iTunes, which is a free program for PC and Mac, and from there you guys can make your backup. All right, that way you don't have to rely on iCloud all the time. I know we have limits. If you guys don't want to pay, well, there are ways to optimize that, and I do have other videos that show you how to clean up and just make more room for iCloud. All right, apart from that, I can tell you guys that you should have at least 50% of your battery when you're making this update. I always recommend having your iPhone, iPad or Touch connected to some electricity. Even though it's 100%, I still recommend having connected to some electricity. I do that in general, but when you're making updates, I always suggest doing that just in case. All right, that way you avoid having to restore your whole iPad or iPod or iPod Touch. If you guys don't see this update, all right, in general iOS 11, don't worry about it. Let's say you have an iPad, the latest one, iPad Pro, and you guys don't see the latest update, I would just hook it up to my computer and do it from there, again using iTunes, which is a free program. So you guys can do that in order to update. Now let's say you guys have an iPhone 4, 4S, something older like that, then I'm sorry, you will not be able to update to iOS 11, which, hold on, it's actually not a bad thing. With every iOS, it gets heavier and there's more features, and that's why older generations cannot update to these newer iOSs, because it will make those iPhones, iPads, or Touches way too slow. So that's why you guys can't update really old iPhones to the latest iOS. I know some iPhones are even stuck at iOS 9. For example, iPad 1 is actually stuck in iOS 5. So all the way back there. You have older iPhones as well as 3GS, also stuck way back in iOS 7. So I wouldn't worry about this. If you guys want to update to iOS 11 and let's say an older iPhone, just because you can't download Facebook, for example, or anything like that, like Twitter and so on, because it's asking you for a newer iOS, well, I do have a separate video as well of how to do this without updating your iPhone or iPad or Touch. All right, so you don't need to download the latest iOS in order to download these other apps. There's other ways of doing it, and I do have a video again in my channel that teaches you guys how to do that. Anyways, enough said. Once this gets downloaded and installs, you guys will see a black screen. That means it's restarting. Then you guys will see a white screen and an Apple logo plus a loading bar. Once it's done that, it's just gonna ask you for your password. All right, if you guys don't have a password, you don't have to worry about this. And that's it. That's it for this. All right. So as you guys can see, it's a really small update. Don't have to really worry about anything. Do little things come back, such as multitasking 3D touch? No. 3D touch still works. So as you can see, it works. However, multitasking 3D touch doesn't. So for those of you who had that question, there it is. I'm sorry, but with this update, it didn't. Hopefully with the next one up, it will come back. Anyways, that's it for this video tutorial. If you guys have any questions, comments, you can write them down here below in the comments area. And don't forget to subscribe and rate. Thank you.